I don't suppose that they'll be very pleased about it coming out. We don't know the genesis of the book. We don't know how it was created, or when if it was finished. Indeed, if it was actually finished, But she obviously was very concerned and wanted this thing to come out. It's all coming out from beyond the grave, so there's nothing that can be said. If there are any sort of controversies within the book, Virginia Giuffre is not around to answer them. I think that probably Prince Andrew won't be particularly additionally concerned by this particular book because, so much has been thrown at him in the last years and in particularly in the last few weeks that, he just remains silent and he just gets on with his very quiet life. I obviously don't know, nor do anyone, the contents of the book, but presumably it will be the story of her entire life and involve a lot of the things that went on in the Epstein empire. And, it's she obviously had a very tragic and difficult life, and the end was pretty horrible. The point about Prince Andrew is that, he was asked to step down from public life, and he did so, and he has remained pretty much quiet ever since. He appears occasionally at family events. Nobody wants him to take part in public life anymore. I'm sure he is aware of that. He's now 65 years old, so he's, reached an age when some people retire. So, his life is really spent with his family and playing golf a little bit and riding in Windsor Great Park. That's really pretty much all he does. So, I think all these things that are going on around him, just we've got the point. We know what we think, and he's not going to return to public life, and there's no question about that. I think the king has sort of got it right in a way because if he didn't go to church on Easter Day, people would accuse him of not going to church on Easter Day. Why shouldn't he go to church with his family? But that's different from taking part in public affairs. And until he stepped down, he was one of the busiest working members of the royal family, actually. And, if you look at those charts, he was high up on the sort of on his royal duties and doing all sorts of different things. But because of that ill-fated interview, nobody wants him anymore. Simple as that. He's his own worst enemy in many ways.